Hello, my name is Austin Martin. I'm a junior here at Brown University studying BEO, Business Entrepreneurship and Organizations, on the organizational track. And this TED Talk today is titled Rhymes with Reason, the importance of meeting youth where they're at. So I mentioned that I'm a student here at Brown University studying BEO, Business Entrepreneurship and Organizations, and I am on the organizational track, but I myself am an entrepreneur. And my first real entrepreneurial endeavor is founding Rhymes with Reason. And what Rhymes with Reason is, it's an educational platform, an interactive educational platform that teaches mostly underrepresented minority students academic vocabulary using popular hip hop music. So I'm sure you're all imagining, how does that work? So what I'm going to do is show you right now. So I'm going to pull up a projector right now. I have my laptop plugged in, and I'm going to pull up my Rhymes with Reason page and show a concrete example of an SAT, ACT, or Common Core vocabulary word, exactly how I teach it in the classroom with the audience. So that's how that part's going to go. So I can't do that because I'm recording this here on my laptop computer, but for the TED Talk, I will show that. So back to the speech. So now that you can see how Rhymes with Reason functions, you see how students are engaged using their culture as a conduit to engage them. So, as I said, this is more geared toward underrepresented minorities like myself, and hip hop is a huge part of our culture and our identity. And what Rhymes with Reason does is precisely the title of this TED Talk: meet students where they're at. So meet students where they're at culturally and represent their cultural interests and their intellectual engagement in hip hop in the classroom. So I'm sure you're all wondering, how did I personally come to the creation of Rhymes with Reason? What inspired me to create Rhymes with Reason? So I'm going to give you a little bit of background about myself and what led me up to this point of creating Rhymes with Reason. So actually, and I don't know if this is the case for all Brown students, and I understand this is a very creative population of students, but I was a student that really didn't do well in school until about ninth grade. But my head was always, fixated with two things, and those two things were basketball and hip hop. So I actually had a lot of trouble in school, and it was really odd because people always said at a young age, Austin, you're really smart. How come you can't harness this intellectual potential that you have in the classroom? And, my parents were constantly trying to figure out what was going on and how come I wasn't succeeding or maximizing my potential as a student. But the things where my intellectual potential were maximized, I said hip hop and actually basketball. So I knew every last thing there was to know about NBA statistics, all my favorite players. I knew all their points per game averages, everything. I studied the NBA, and I also studied the NFL as well. But hip hop was the number one thing that I studied. I spent countless summers, on the computer, looking up lyrics, downloading, unreleased material from my favorite rappers like, Nas, Lupe Fiasco, Jay-Z, real lyrical rappers that use a lot of metaphors, similes, double entendres, and had a lot of rich syntax in their lyrics. And I just marveled at how they were able to string words together and, tap into concepts and really just have beautiful lyricism. And this always stimulated me. For some reason, I never really wanted to be a rapper. Personally, I've definitely played around with it and written my own raps, but I don't think that's for me. But hip-hop is my love, and I've always been intellectually stimulated by it. And up until ninth grade, at the expense of any interest in school. So around ninth grade, for some reason,